What is going on, people? Today we're going to be looking over Warpath, which is a game that just recently released, and I've been playing for a little over a week and trying to see exactly how it all works, how you can progress through the game, etc. And there are a lot of things here that I was familiar with, but it's not the same thing as you would usually see in other games. Now, of course, you have your base here that you build, you upgrade the building levels, and as you upgrade the building levels, you get more resources and more things that become available to you. And that in itself is pretty simple, but it's once you step out that you start seeing things a little differently than you normally would. Now, the first thing I need to show you, okay, is just how huge this world is. So let me just give you an example, okay? So this is my base, and everything around it, you see all these all the things that I can go and attack and farm, etc., right? Well, that's all fine and dandy because this is my little base here. But once you start branching out, okay, just look how big this is. Look at this. This is where I'm at, the little green dot, and then just take a look at this. Look how big this map is. It is actually insane. And if you think that's big, okay, let me back up even more. Watch this. That's where I'm at. Yeah, that's where I'm at, okay? And then let's back up a little bit. Yeah, as you might see, this is the United States, and I'm in Billings. But look how big this map is. It is absolutely massive. And some of these things are not opened yet, so that means that eventually they're going to start making more of these available. But just to give you an idea as to how big this thing is, like, it's actually quite insane. Now let's go back to my little area, okay? Because there's a couple of things that I need to talk about here. The first being the units. Now, in this game, units do counter specific things, but it's not your regular 4 troop types and then they each counter each other type of thing. This goes more in depth than that. Like, for instance, my Tiger heavy tank, so it says here heavy tank counters medium tank, right? Now if you take a look at this one, the tank hunters, obviously this one is going to counter the heavy tank, and then you see the siege, they counter buildings, etc., etc. And then there's so many different units that you can choose from. Infantry, they activate a bunker that they can actually be very defensive. So you have all of these units that you can get. You got all of these units that you can keep upgrading. And down here is where you actually pick your 5. So for instance, if I want to change one out, I can just pick it and then pick whatever other unit I want to use. So for instance, if you're going to go into an area and you're trying to take down a building, then obviously you'd want to take more of the siege type units. And then, not just the troops, but you also get officers that actually boost those troops. So, at the moment, I don't have as many as I would want. There's actually one that's missing one because all of the other ones I have are taken, but don't worry. More will be available soon for me. And if you take a look at the officers, you see here that each officer has different abilities that you can keep upgrading and keep unlocking. So which officer you assign to which unit also will play a part, because for instance, take a look at this. Used for tank bombardment, inflicting enemy troop damage, and this is an additional 10% dealt by tank units. So you want to use this guy mainly with a tank unit, and it goes more in depth than all of that, but just giving you an idea of you need to take your troops into account, you need to take your officers into account, you also need to take into account what you're going to be attacking, which will determine a lot of what I just said. And now you start seeing how all of that is going to be strategic. Not only that, you can keep upgrading your barracks here to actually be able to hold more. Like for instance, instead of 4 tanks, I'll be able to move up to be able to have 5 in that specific group, etc., etc. So very strategic in that way. You have to take a lot of things into account. And not only that, I gotta talk about the campaign, because first of all, let me get my rewards. Thank you very much. Now the campaign is actually very interesting because you go in there and it's like it puts your troop in this small map, that you have to accomplish specific missions. And I don't want to get into it too much right now. We'll cover that in another video. But essentially, with the campaign, they put you in a small map, and then you have to either defend something or achieve a goal in that specific map. And that in itself, it started very simple. Obviously, in the beginning, it wants to teach you the ropes. But now it is getting to the point where I'm struggling a little, and you gotta be strategic about how you do things. Not always keeping your troops together is the best thing. Sometimes you might have to split them. So it's very, very interesting. As some of you may know, there is also gathering. So we got the collection convoys here, which I have 3 at the moment, and you can deploy, and these are the resources that you can gather. Okay, you can go to farms to gather military funds, then you go to mines to harvest steel, and then oil fields to harvest crude oil. And these are resources that are going to be essential on your growth. So how do you do this? Well, this game has a nice little feature here that can let you pick what level you want to look for, and it searches for you and it finds the easiest for you. So for instance, I want to get a level 4 because at 5 I don't think I have that researched yet, which is another thing I'm going to get to. But level 4, boom, it's actually right next to me. So let me go ahead and deploy, and then my little truck there is going to go ahead and start harvesting from there. Also, a nice little feature is this search area, and you get to search for ravens. Now, ravens are like the military units that you can attack to gain resources, and these resources are what you're going to be using to level up your building. So for instance, I want to go ahead and find a raven troop or squad that has this resource. So let's go ahead and look for it. Once again, right next to me. Hello. And now I can go ahead and choose my troops. Let's go ahead and select all, and I can either attack, which is interesting because from what I've seen from these 2 options, attack is once you get there you start attacking, but if your troops have different movement speeds, then they may not all attack at the same time. But I found that converge is probably one of the better ones, because converge, even if one of your troops gets there first, it'll wait for all of your troops to be there and get in position to attack at the same time. So something to think about, because not all troops move at the same speed. But let's go ahead and converge right over. I mean, this is literally right next to me. So let's go ahead and zoom in and see how this battle unfolds. Keep in mind that I have some troops back here too. And you just pretty much farm. Now keep in mind that this does use some energy that you gain over time. So as far as what resources you get, you have to be very, very strategic with it. That way you don't waste too much of your time. But there we go, taken down. There we go. And now we can go ahead and collect the asphalt. There it is. Okay, now like I mentioned, this takes energy, which is right here, right? So I can get up to 150 at max, and every time you attack it does take some energy depending on what you're attacking. So something to always keep in mind. And also, when your troops are out and about and you attack something, you actually can go ahead and just recruit more if they do die, and this is something that you get over time. So if you keep recruiting troops, you actually are able to replenish more and more over time. So I think you'll be fine in that manner. And then once you're done attacking, you can just garrison them and help you defend if you do get attacked. So something that I should always be doing is making sure that I garrison them, because one of these days I got caught with my troops out and my base got completely wiped and I had to relocate. Another thing I've noticed that it's a little different is the building upgrades. Usually with upgrades, you need a specific amount of resources, and then once you have the resources, you build, and that takes a certain amount of time. But here, once you have the resources, the building just automatically upgrades. So really what takes the time is the resource gathering. And then all I have to do is go ahead and hit build, and it builds it for me. Boom. Easy. And it's done. It's reached the next level. But here's the thing. Once you go back to building and to upgrade, you see the resources that I'm going to need again. So that's really where most of your time is going to be concentrated, in gathering those resources. And that's where attacking the ravens, using your gathering truck, etc. I call it the gathering truck, to make sure that you get the resources that you need. So that leads me into the research. Now the research, right now there's only 2 trees, industry and military. Pretty self-explanatory. Military is going to be boosting your troops and making sure that your troops are stronger and unlocking new things, etc. Industry is more of for resource purposes. And from what I'm noticing, it doesn't take like a lot amount of time. Even when you get down here, it doesn't seem to be too crazy. So as of right now, the research isn't something that goes like 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. Everything has been fairly decent. And then I also have a decent amount of like speed ups, which you see right here. So as of right now, the one thing I am working on is trying to upgrade my army, because once you go to units, right, you go over here and the units have levels. So the ones that I'm mainly using are level 40 just because they're capped at level 40, and if I want to unlock them, I need to research instructor system to get them to be able to max out at 60. So if I go over here, I need to get this unlocked. But before I can do that, I need to get level 3 trench tactics. And before I do that, I need to get these to level 3. So you see the progression that I'm trying to get to. And I'm sure as you keep going down, you know, this is going to be 80. And this is going to be 120. So level 200 right now is the max. So you see the progression. It's gonna progress more and more. And as of right now, I'm just trying to get to 60. I'll worry about 200 when I get to 200. And now you may be asking, well, how do I get these extra units? Well, there's quite a few ways that you can get it actually. First of all, there are daily quests that you can complete. Daily missions right here. These chests, depending on what you do, these chests give you rewards. And some of them actually do come with an ability to, there it is, a universal coupon. That lets you summon some troops. And then the last one also gives you another universal coupon. So you get at least 2 a day. And what you do with that is you go over here to these chests and you can draw. And this gives you units from anywhere from 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, etc. So as long as you stay active, you'll be able to continuously summon more troops. And even if you get a duplicate, you can use that duplicate to strengthen the one that you're already leveling up. So nothing goes to waste. Now that we got some of these coupons, let's see exactly what we can draw from this. We'll do times 10 just to save a little time. Let's take a look. What do we get? Anything decent? We get quite a few level 4 stars, medium tanks, tank hunters, heavy tanks, anti-tank gun, a bunch of those stuff. Okay, let's draw 10 more. We're trying to get at least a couple of 5 stars, okay? Let's see. Give me something good. Ooh, there's a 5 star. And a tank hunter, 5-star tank hunter. I will take that because I still need some of those. Let's go ahead and draw. And another 5-star. And we get another tank hunter. I don't mind that at all. And then the very last one. Let's take a look. Another one. Ooh, 2 level 5 stars. Nice. An anti-tank gun and an infantry. Okay. So once you get these, right? Oh, and also, let me go ahead and take a look at this. Select a 10. Oh, this is a free 5-star. What do I select? I don't know. I'll go with this one. Yeah, I'll go with this one. What do we get? What do we get? A howitzer. Okay. All right. So with these extra units, you can come over here and you go to assemble. And this is what you do. Okay, you take these 5 stars and you add another one to it and it becomes stronger. Look at this. There it is. Bow. So you see the power goes up by quite a bit. The firepower, durability, etc. Very, very strong. And also I got a lot of assembling to do. So this is the essence of the game for now. But I haven't even gotten into the alliance, which is another big part of it. With the alliance wars and territories and all of that, but there's just too much to cover in one video. So like I mentioned before, there's a lot to do. There's some things that you can actually take over right here, like the Raven bunker. And as of right now, I'm just trying to grow make sure that I'm getting as strong as I can. That way I can continue to defeat stronger ravens, get more resources, upgrade my buildings. Now I am going to have a specific Discord for this, so if you want to join just to chat, talk about the game, etc., there is going to be a link down in the description. I'll be there today just chatting with y'all, and make sure that you check it out. Hit that link. And I'm also thinking about starting my own alliance, because the alliance I'm in right now, it's very difficult to communicate with them. They're in a completely different language, etc. And even though there's a translator, it's very difficult sometimes. So I'm actually thinking about starting my own little alliance. So let me know what you guys think about that. But yeah, appreciate you guys for coming through, for watching and supporting. And until next time, bye.